Find any information on this dude, what ya?
No, I haven't found a thing about this. Even dipping into your timelines. What do you call this? Interactive nets?
The internet. Yeah. Huh. What the hell are you? And do not tell me that you're Dean Steeler.
Okay then.
Alright. I need to do a video today, and I haven't slept well in a few weeks, so let's talk about why I haven't touched Dungeons & Dragons in, God, years.
D&D. Yeah, I know that game. Never played it. Not much time as a Watchmaster.
Yeah, fair enough, so let's start with how I got into TTRPGs first. I think I was 19, 20, I can't recall. But a friend I had met while working at a franchise diner eventually invited me to join him, his two brothers, and two friends into their D&D 3.5 games. I've stuck into that 3.5 as the best edition of the game, and most agree. But it eventually led me into Pathfinder and Spheres of Might, which I want to point out, while they're based off one another, they are not meant to be played together. Be careful, you can bring Pathfinder into 3.5, but not into Spheres. I tried 5th edition a lot too, because that's what was easiest to find a game for. And the more I played, the more I felt restricted. Their skills are based off of simple formulas. Their class and subclasses make builds very limited. And the starting gear is stupid restricting. So, that's reason one. Modern D&D is restricting for me. 3.5 had dozens of options. Base classes alone. Many of the 5th edition subclasses used to be their own classes. Swashbuckler, Hexblade, and such. Other subclasses were prestige classes, which didn't have class requirements. Eldritch Knights could be taken by anyone that met the requirements. For example, it was intended for fighter, but was usable by wizards, knights, paladins, samurais, and such. Every time I've made a 5th edition character, I've looked at the sheet like they were chains, and I have never liked being restricted. This hatred for 5e led me to Pathfinder, which I found love for. It makes more sense than 3.5, but still has the infinite choices and books I love. Of course, that's just the first reason I refused to play it. Another is, well, last year. 2023. Stolen artwork, AI usage in artwork, and possibly more. Attempted theft from creators. Threat of jail time for reporters of their own mistakes. And so much more. I actually created Conqueror Creations to be competition. We're setting up the game saloon to be an open system, creating our own system entirely for it. I've yet to find another TTRPG that uses a deck of normal playing cards like Saloon does, and that the cards are easy to get, and thus this game is easier to play. Still need to make a final sheet for it, actually. I should probably work on that. With Wizards trying to change their OGL, we wanted to make sure that you could have a system that you can make whatever you want for it, and profit from it for free from our control. Paizo, who actually has gone through this shit before, decided they wanted the same and created the Orc license. We've put our name on the list of companies that are utilizing it, and we've made statements that our blackjack system for our role-playing games is open for anyone to use for any game they so desire. Hell, I'm actually working on some spin-off games. one in a more fantasy setting and the other in a more sci-fi setting. This is reason number 2. The company, whether you want to blame Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast, has a venom against those that gave them their fortune. This game is brought in by people who were in it when it wasn't big. Those people make things for it what they love, spreading the game further. And that leads into number 3. The fame makes it alone. You see Critical Role and people defend how they stood by Wizards and D&D because of contracts. But keep in mind, a contract always has a way out. Maybe it's difficult, maybe it's simple, but in most cases a breach of contract is a nullification of it. The changing of the OGL could be seen in a court of law as a change of the contract. They could have gotten out. And each one is a currently working actor, actress, and voice actor. Hell, Mercer knows Vin Diesel. There's 1,001 lawyers just in California that just deal with getting out of contracts. Actors use them, production companies use them, and even writers use them. That group could have and should have gotten out of their contract, moved to another game. They started out streaming their game from a kitchen table and could have easily gone back to that. But my production costs, bitch, I work in a minimum wage at a gas station. And I've made a company. It's expensive, but figure it out, Mr. and Mrs. Actor and Actress. The Critical Role stepping out of line makes those on the outside looking in only see 5th edition. It's the only option. It's the only choice. I built this YouTube channel off of looking at other games and seeing what else can be played. But go to your local shop, ask to join a game, and you'll always be pointed at a 5th edition game. Not Call of Cthulhu, not Pathfinder, not Cyberpunk Red, just D&D. That game. That immense numbers. That insane population, it's a single island in a sea. And that island, sure, is the largest, but is very often doesn't let anyone different into or out of it. So many people I've talked to won't try anything else. Random strangers want to join, hear that I don't run 5th edition, and immediately run. Those that do make the attempt are people I've known for years, and they trust me, and almost 100% of the time, they're happy they joined. It's like going to Japan to see the culture, but only going to Tokyo. Each island is different, each island has a different culture, and even different genetics. Tabletop RPGs are the same, but unfortunately, most in the Tokyo 5th edition won't go anywhere else. This is just a short list of reasons why I refuse to touch D&D 5e. There's obviously a lot more. The Pinkertons, for example, or the most recent event of trying to stop you from sharing books and forcing everyone on D&D Beyond to buy the whole book for one aspect of it. Hell, there's a leak that Hasbro is trying to remove Homebrew from the game as well, and that website. Because people notice how much of a scam their second attempt at a website is. Yeah, by the way, Hasbro buying D&D Beyond isn't their first time they've done that. They sank the last one too. I won't touch 5th edition. I try my best to avoid Hasbro, but there's one game I need to review when y'all get me to 1,000 subs.
Is that a pony?
Please don't look at it, I want to forget it exists, but for now, shove off.